Ruthless Compassion is a podcast that shows you how to become fiercely kind. I'm the host, Dr. Marcia Sirota, and in each episode, I get into it with experts and regular folks about the things that get in the way of what we want. Things like addiction and mental health, isolation and loneliness, difficult family and work relationships, and the importance of self-care. I want to help you overcome the obstacles to living your best life, and I want to inspire you to become a powerful kindness warrior. Lisa Ann Marchesi was born into a family with Sicilian roots, and she started helping out in the kitchen at a very young age. She learned her culinary skills from her grandmother, who guided her expertise through the breadth of Italian cuisine. After years of exploring the world of cooking, Lisa Ann became the go-to chef in her family, and she used her culinary background to develop her certified pure olive oil, Bella d'Oliva. Bella d'Oliva olives are sourced from the Sicily and Puglia regions of Italy and are excellent for heart health, being rich in nutrients, including antioxidants. After losing her grandfather and great-uncles to heart disease and her grandmother to breast cancer, Lisa Ann had decided to invest her time in creating a healthy product with uncompromising quality. Lisa Ann was recently one of the top 20 contestants on the third season of the hit television show MasterChef, where she showcased her skills in the kitchen in front of notable culinary artist Gordon Ramsay and renowned pastry chef Christina Tosi. The season is currently airing on Fox TV. Welcome, Lisa Ann Marchesi.
Welcome, Lisa Ann Marchesi, to the Ruthless Compassion podcast.
Thank you, Doctor, for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
You can call me Marcia.
Oh, okay, Marcia. I like that. Okay.
The first question I always like to ask people is, what do you do and how did you come to be doing it?
Well, it would depend on what exactly it is I'm doing at that particular moment. You see, I have a few jobs. One is I am an insurance executive. I've been doing that for over 25 years. But my real passion falls in the olive oil business, and I'm an importer for extra virgin olive oil that I bring in from Italy.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. How did you go from insurance to olive oil?
I absolutely love the insurance business. It has been my profession for many, many years. But I've always had, I always loved cooking. I come from a big Sicilian Italian family. We use olive oil all the time. And I came across a store that I thought was actually selling wine. And it turned out that they were an olive oil store. And they had all these olive oils from all over the world. And I absolutely fell in love with the concept of a business that was around extra virgin olive oil.
Huh. And so what made you decide to import it?
Well, you know what? There are so many, California is now just starting to import olive oil, or not import, but just produce olive oil. Texas is doing a little bit of it, but Italy is from where I'm from, and I wanted to bring something that's part of my heritage where I can really, give an honor, and to my family, and I wanted to bring something in from where my roots are from, which is Italy.
That sounds wonderful. And you said you really love cooking. Could you tell us a little bit about your cooking journey?
Oh my gosh. My cooking journey started like many, many years ago with my grandmother, Anna. She was Sicilian Italian. She lived with me and my family for many years. And I spent a lot of time in the kitchen growing up. I was the only granddaughter for a very, very long time. So it wasn't something new to be in the kitchen, even at a young age, that I saw the wooden spoon on many occasions and it wasn't necessarily for eating. But I just love cooking because every time we would cook, we would bring the family in. Everyone put all their differences aside and we'd all get together and eat. It made everybody happy. It was like done with love. So I just love cooking for people that I love, I guess. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And of course, you were a contestant on MasterChef. How did that come about?
Oh my gosh. So exciting. So, a few years ago, I was on a show called The Taste with Anthony Bourdain, where I was cooking. Unfortunately, I did not make a team. However, I did make the cut to appear on the show and audition and caught the attention of some of the producers there that thought maybe because it was my first time in front of the cameras cooking on a national television show, they saw that I had enough skill set and personality to maybe do things, to go further in my culinary skills, especially with television competitions. And so I was approached by some producers and I went out for the audition, and the next thing you know, I'm cooking for Gordon Ramsay.
That sounds like really quite an adventure. What was it like being on MasterChef?
Oh, it was it was purely an adrenaline rush. I mean, from the minute you step foot in that kitchen to the minute you close your eyes at night, if you were able to sleep, it's just, you're standing there in front of Gordon Ramsay, who I see on television. I've seen him on TV for many years doing very different shows. And then on YouTube, like just watching some of his culinary techniques, I would pick up some of those. And now all of a sudden I'm in the kitchen with him and I'm having a conversation. Like, really? Like, this isn't really happening. Is this really happening? It was so exciting and surreal. It was an adrenaline rush the entire time.
I'm sure you learned a ton too.
Oh my God. Chef Gordon Ramsay, he was amazing. Like, he wouldn't just say, cook this. There were times where he would actually take the time out and explain to you how to use a certain technique and when to use it and why it's important and certain foods, and really kind of introducing you and opening up your eyes to different ways. I mean, he makes some Michelin rated plates, and it's just, in his restaurants, and it's just, you're learning from the best. I mean, it's not something you're going to find in an ordinary cooking school.
Absolutely. And when you went on the show, were you nervous? Did you have doubts? Did you go, what the heck am I doing here? Or did you go in with all confidence and bravado?
You have to have confidence. You absolutely have to go into this competition with confidence. But, of course, everyone else on the outside saying, are you crazy to get in the kitchen with him? All he does is scream and yell. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go outside of my comfort zone and I'm going to do this. I'm going to, I know I have what it takes. But I'm going to push myself even further by putting myself out there and doing something that I've never done before in my entire life. And that's what I did. And I loved every minute of it. Loved it.
Well, of course, I can't ask you about the outcome, so I'm going to slightly change the subject and ask you to talk a little bit more about going outside of your comfort zone, because this podcast is really about inspiring people to live their best life and be their best self. So talk to me a little bit more for you, what it means to go outside of your comfort zone.
It's really uncomfortable and it's a little bit scary. But you have to get into the mindset where you're like, you know what? You get to a point in your life where you need to start opening up your eyes. You need to start opening up your mind and imagination. It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to experiment. And so, all my life I played it safe, right? Because, I raised my son as a single mom for many years when I got divorced. And, I went into a profession that was really, really safe to me and doing things that I knew that was easy. Same thing with my cooking. My cooking, I grew up around Italian cuisine. It was simple. It was easy. That's what we did, But once you kind of like open up your mind and your eyes and the ability to learn new things, like even my palate has changed. Like, it is the most amazing experience. It really is. And it doesn't matter how old you are, but it's just, when you get out there, it's invigorating. It's all about recalibrating yourself. No matter how old you are, no matter what stage in life you are in, there's nothing better than recalibrating.
I think you're right. It's almost like you're recreating yourself, aren't you?
Absolutely recreating yourself. I mean, I could always, look, I have a fantastic career on the insurance business. I'm well respected in my community and among my business peers. But there's something to be said when you step outside of that and you show it's not even about anybody else. It's about yourself. You could prove to yourself that if you've got a passion for something that may not be something that other people feel is relevant or you should be doing, don't worry about what everybody else thinks. Do what makes you feel good. Because if you can put out that kind of energy, you're going to be able to inspire other people to do the same thing and not be afraid to come out of their comfort zone and be able to go after the things that make them happy, that inspire them to do things, again, outside their comfort zone.
What you're really talking about, it sounds like, is being authentic and following your passion.
Absolutely. It's all about passion. And there's nothing, I believe that you as an individual, no matter what it is you're doing, if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to be successful. You're going to give it half of the energy, half of the response, half of the heart, instead of giving it 100% if it was something that you're passionate about. And so my message is find your passion and go after it, because you will be successful. And no matter what it may be, it may sound crazy to people that are just insecure about themselves. If you're secure, if you feel confident in yourself the way I did when I went into that kitchen, in Gordon Ramsay's kitchen, feel confident enough that the failure is not an option and that you will win. You will be able to come out a winner. Regardless of the circumstances, you will come out a winner because you stepped out of your comfort zone and you did something you're passionate about.
I can hear your passion in your voice, for sure. And it's very interesting because you're a businesswoman and you're also a creative person. Do you bring the same passion and creativity to your business as you bring to your cooking and your olive oil business?
I do. I mean, you have to be. There are so many times where, we're in my insurance world, I am involved mostly in business development and creating a global presence for my company. And you have to think outside the box. You cannot think like everybody else. You can't go on your competitors' websites or talk to them or find things out, because you don't want to be like them. You want to differentiate yourself. And it's the same thing with the olive oil business. I wanted to differentiate myself from the other olive oil companies that are out there, because there's a million of them on the street, the same way there's a million other insurance, risk management brokerage firms out there. What's going to make us different? Kind of digging down and really finding out, like, how do we differentiate ourselves and finding that passion about what we do unique and what we can bring as a value to the customer, whether it's olive oil or insurance.
Or cooking, I guess.
Or especially cooking.
And what's the role of authenticity in all of this to you?
You know what? Authenticity is about being real. Admitting your flaws is number one. You know what? Don't pretend to be somebody that you're not. I've met so many people that just pretend to be somebody that they're not because they want to be somebody that somebody else wants them to be. And I'm sorry, but that's not real, and that's going to come across. You're going to be caught, because you can never remember your lies. You can only remember the truth. So
it's true. It's absolutely true. And I think that, when we're authentic, I think that's when we're most inspiring to others, because we're being the best we can be as opposed to trying to be like somebody else.
Exactly. And you know what? Life isn't perfect. So for somebody to go out and pretend that everything's great and perfect, it's not true. People will learn. I think that we gain our biggest lessons in life by mistakes. Is that if you go through life with rose-colored glasses, then that's about all you're going to see. I think I've learned, from mistakes, and that has made me stronger in my personal life and my professional life.
I really love when you say that, because I totally agree with you. I think that there's not a better lesson in life than when you've messed up, because you're going to remember that mistake. You're going to remember that mess up, and you're going to change. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And if you don't change, then you've got bigger problems.
Yeah.
But,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, look, everybody remembers you know, the times when things didn't go right. You know, that's where the word drama comes from, right? So if you could learn from those mistakes, make yourself stronger and move on, and you just keep learning, you just keep moving forward. And there's no turning back, and there's no walking backwards in my book. It's all about moving forward.
I'm sure you really learned a lot from all the different drama in the kitchen at MasterChef.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, MasterChef was the most incredible, humbling, real experiences I've ever had. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I love the people I worked with. But again, you find that some people are not really who they say they are. And, you know, there's a lot of underlying issues why people go after the limelight. And it's not necessarily for the right reason. And, you know, the idea of, you know, going into that kind of situation to try to bring out a positive experience and to inspire other people to go after their dream is really important to me. It's not about cutting people down once, you know, they're off, whether they didn't make the cut, whether they didn't make the apron, or if they're taken off the show, if they didn't, you know, cook up to par. It's a learning experience, and it's sad to see some people that are not embracing it and looking at it as a learning experience, as opposed to those that take the experience and move forward with it, as opposed to just going backwards in it. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
So I suppose you must have had some people that you really connected with, and then a few other people that maybe you didn't have a good connection with, or as good a connection with, on the show.
You know, I think for the most part I had a good connection with everyone. You know, I believe that it was, you know, the top 40 that made it through, and then the top 20 that received the aprons. I think the top 20 of us have heard a lot of disgruntled competitors that didn't win the apron, and there's all kinds of talk, and they're just not accepting the fact that it, you know, this is a competition, and there's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser, and somebody's going to have to go home at the end of the day every week. And you know, instead of learning from it, there are some people out there that are upset about it. I wouldn't say it's particularly me, but I do, you know, I have seen and heard some of disgruntled contestants. So
I have a great question for you.
Sure.
How does a person learn how to lose gracefully?
Listen to what the judges say when they critique you, when they give you when they don't just say you didn't win, or you didn't get the apron, or you know, you're out. They explain to you why. And if you're closed-minded, you're going to be bitter and you're not going to accept it. If you're open-minded and you want to truly, you know, step up your game, better yourself as a person, as a chef, as a cook, as a competitor, then you're going to listen to the criticism. And if you're smart, you're going to take that criticism and you're going to work it to your advantage for the next time.
I love that advice. I think that's fantastic
Seriously.
advice. And you know, whether you won or lose, I think that's a fantastic lesson to share with my listeners. Yeah. I just wanted to ask you, what are you doing these days that you'd like to promote to our listeners? The olive oil business, or anything else that you might be up to these days?
Well, every day I spend, you know, most of my time with my company, Construction Risk Partners. We specialize in contractors. So I work with owners and developers from all over the country, protecting all the construction sites and the workers and the projects. But also the olive oil that I bring in is from Italy, and I will be bringing in a new line this season from Sicily. as well as Puglia, which is in the heel of the boot. And it's pure extra virgin olive oil. I went over to Italy for the harvest runs from October to January. So I spent time in Italy touring the grove and the mill in which it's processed to make sure that it's pure and authentic extra virgin olive oil, that it's not being blended with other oils from different countries and different blends, etc., that it's pure. Because I want my customers to experience pure extra virgin olive oil the way I did the day it was harvested and in the bottle. So this fall, keep an eye out on my website, which is www.belladolivausa.com. And you keep track, sign up for my newsletter, and I'll keep you posted to when the new harvest will be arriving here in the United States. It should be here for Thanksgiving.
Oh, it sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I remember going to Italy, and I love the olive oil there. It was really, really amazing.
It is. It really is. It's, you know what? There's something about, it's very different than the oil that we have here in America and also Canada and other places. It's not when you're talking about a raw form of extra virgin olive oil, it tastes very different than what you find on the shelf in the grocery store. And there are so many, what I teach consumers is that there are health components as to why it's important for you to have extra virgin olive oil. Because some people say, well, what difference does it make? Well, it makes a lot of difference because you're paying the price for extra virgin olive oil, and a lot of times you're finding out that it's not pure. But with my olive oil, it's pure extra virgin olive oil comes with polyphenols, which are antioxidants, and the antioxidants fight against free radicals, which we know. So it's you could take a teaspoon of my olive oil a day, kind of like you do with your vitamins. It's almost like a daily vitamin you can take.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
And are you doing any cooking these days?
I am. I'm doing lots of cooking. As a matter of fact, this summer, there's a lot of grilling going on. There's a lot of fish. There's a lot of techniques I learned from MasterChef that I'm bringing into my kitchen. Halibut happens to be one of Gordon Ramsay's favorite fish that I learned while I was in MasterChef. And the men actually cooked that, his signature dish, on the very first challenge, after the girls won. And it's a dish that I've perfected and have now gotten my family into making it. But, there's lots of cooking going on. So you got to check back with me.
And are you going to be on TV doing any cooking in the near future?
Well, I hope so.
I guess we have to go and find you. Do you have any other website, or is it the Bella Oliva website to find you?
You could find me on belladolivausa.com. Mm-hmm. And I do have a YouTube channel, and we're in the process of putting together more cooking demos. So but in the meantime, you could find me on Bella on my website, and on my website, you will find links to my social media, which is Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And on there, you'll see more of a few of the cooking demos that I'll do and some of my dishes.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, just to end, I always like to ask my guests to offer a call to action to the listeners. So what would be your call to action today for the people listening to you?
My call to action would be, if you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, whatever it may be that you're watching, you're reading, is if you see it, if you dream it, you can make it happen. So don't wait for it to happen. Make it happen. That's my personal motto. So that's my own quote. Don't wait for it to happen. Make it happen. If you see it, dream it, you can make it happen. Don't sit there and say, I wish I can, because there's nothing stopping you from doing it except you. And that's what the most important thing is. Don't say, God, you know what? You're watching television and you're watching MasterChef. Well, look, there's Lisa Ann. She's in her 40s. My God, I wish I could do that, but I've got kids and I've got a career. I've got a husband. I have this. I've got that. Maybe I don't. I wish I could do that, but because I love cooking, I have this. You can do that. You can do that. You have to put your mind to it and find the resources and take the time out. The biggest thing you need to do is take the time out for you, because we as women, we just worry about everybody else. We're always taking care of everyone, whether it's family, friends, whatever. It's just part of our nature. It's our nurturing. We're moms. We're women. That's what we were taught to do. But you know what? Stop. It's okay to take care of yourself. It's not being selfish, because when you do that, you'll be able to take care of everybody else too. But take care of yourself first. Put yourself first. It's okay. It's not selfish. It's fine. Your family will follow. Trust me. I know.
And I bet you they'll be very inspired by you as well.
They should. And if anybody ever wants to talk to me, I'd love to come back on your show and talk more about it. If somebody's feeling, well, you know what? Oh, I don't want to step over. You know what? Don't look before you leap. Just leap. Whatever happens is going to happen. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is life. And it only happens once.
And you're the perfect person to be saying it, because look at all the amazing things that you've done, right? Yeah. So you're not talking out of the side of your mouth. You're living what you're saying.
Oh my God, are you kidding? I cooked with Gordon Ramsay, Christina Tosi, Wolfgang Puck, for God's sakes. I mean, in my lifetime did I ever think that was going to happen? A few years ago, I was just in the insurance business, and I happened to like the taste of olive oil. But I found my passion, and that's what I did, and it took me to so many places. Last year, I was on Dr. Oz talking about olive oil. And, now I'm sitting on a show with Dr. Oz. The next thing you know, I'm going to be cooking with Aron Sanchez and Claudia Sandoval. This is just crazy. This is what you do. This is what happens. If you bring the positive energy, if you put the positive energy out, it comes back to you. I'm all about the law of attraction. And if you could keep that positive energy, that positive attitude, you're going to attract those positive things in life. Those message boards, those dream boards, those are for real, because mine started with one of those. I saw Italy, and I knew I wanted to do something there. And it all starts with the vision. You have to have a vision. And if you could see it, you can make it happen.
Well, that's a really wonderful note to end our interview on. It's wonderful. It's wonderful that you're so passionate.
I am.
It really is inspiring.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's really been a pleasure talking with you. And say again your website just for the listeners.
Sure. My website is www.belladolivausa.com. It's kind of long. BELLADOLIVAUSA.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Lisa Ann.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao.
Ciao.
That was the dynamic Lisa Ann Marchesi, and I'm Dr. Marcia Sirota. If you like this podcast, please subscribe and review it on iTunes. You can also sponsor me on Patreon at patreon.com/Dr. Marcia Sirota. And please sign up for my free monthly wellness newsletter at marciaSirotaMD.com.